Bitcoin just surged past $123,000, setting a new all-time high. And now, Donald Trump is telling Americans to consider buying Bitcoin. But is this political noise or a real macro signal? Let's break it down. Inflation is heating up again. June CPI came in at 2.7% year over year, while core CPI hit 2.9%, still well above the Fed's 2% target. At the same time, the US national debt is ballooning. We're sitting around $29 trillion, with interest costs chewing through the budget. That's a combustible mix: rising prices, rising debt, and political chaos. Trump sees it. And whether you love him or hate him, his words move markets. He's now openly praising Bitcoin, blaming the Fed for endless money printing, and flirting with capital gains tax cuts. If Trump changes the policy in the White House, it could unlock a perfect storm for Bitcoin: populist monetary policy, more fiscal spending, and a weaker dollar. Combine that with favorable crypto regulation or ETF acceleration, and the price action could get explosive. Let's break it into three acts. System crisis counter. System: under Biden and previous administrations, money printing became normalized. COVID relief, wars, bank bailouts, it all added trillions. Now with the Fed tightening but inflation still above target, pressure is building. The 10-year yield is around 4.4%, while mortgage rates hover near 7.5%. That's crushing for the middle class. Trump steps in with a critique: kill the Fed, cut taxes, spend locally. It's populism meets economics. Prices: if Trump wins and reignites spending or dials up trade wars, inflation could reignite. Tariffs alone have already added to June's CPI bump. If fiscal spending grows and the Fed is politically pressured to ease, real yields could fall. That's when investors flee the scarce assets. Bitcoin's 21 million cap becomes its strongest feature. Counter: Bitcoin just hit $123,000. Year to date, it's up over 27%. The breakout above $112,000 triggered a $1 billion short squeeze, as bears were forced to cover. This wasn't retail driven. July alone brought $3.4 billion into spot ETFs. BlackRock's iShares now holds nearly $90 billion. Open interest on futures is over $57.4 billion. Leverage is dropping, showing institutional investors, not gamblers, are in control. Charts show a bullish cup and handle pattern with a target around $134,000. Support sits at $113,000, with soft resistance between $124,000 and $128,000. Momentum indicators like RSI and MACD remain neutral bullish. As long as ETF flows persist, dips are likely to get bought hard. Now throw Trump into the setup. He signals favorable tax policy. He rails against CBDCs. He promises to fire Fed leadership. His supporters already lean anti-establishment. Bitcoin is becoming their monetary protest tool. If Trump pushes Bitcoin ETFs, kills capital gains on crypto, or even floats BTC-backed bonds, the ceiling disappears. Of course, risks remain. Trump could trigger volatility. Trade wars could shake equities. He might pressure exchanges or punish competitors. But Bitcoin thrives in chaos. It feeds on distrust, on volatility, on fear. That's how it grew from $1,000 to $100,000. What's the base case? Bitcoin consolidates near $120,000, with short-term volatility. But if Trump momentum grows into election season and inflation flares again, Bitcoin could punch through $134,000 fast. Institutional players are ready. Retail is watching headlines. And whales are quietly accumulating. Here's your tactical plan: watch ETF flows. If July's pace continues, we'll see another leg up. Monitor CPI. Any upside surprise will be rocket fuel. Track Trump's rhetoric. Bitcoin mentions equals instant sentiment shift. Set alerts around $113,000 support and $128,000 resistance. Breaks mean momentum shifts. Bottom line, Trump saying buy Bitcoin isn't just marketing. It's part of a much bigger macro and political convergence. This is where narrative, policy, and hard money thesis collide. If you're watching the system spiral and looking for an exit ramp, Bitcoin remains the clearest path. Subscribe, hit the bell, and comment below: is Trump right this time?